Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 BMW M4 Competition Convertible. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This M4 is finished off in Isle of Man green metallic, and the MSRP is just over $104,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. It's sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,300-pound convertible from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It has a top speed up to 180 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 54.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, this model has a really nice design to it. You'll notice there's gloss black for the lower section of the bumper end caps there. The large kidney grille with plenty of cutouts to provide cooling. There's also a forward-facing camera, all of the parking sensors, more cutouts in the inlets on both sides of that grille, and then it has a dark housing for all of the LEDs. Now you'll notice too, with the larger kidney grille, it flows nicely with the hood lines since they meet at the top and then work their way into the hood there just to tie it in very nicely. Now this has a two-tone design for these staggered wheels, along with having the blue M Sport brakes, which is a nice touch. You'll notice a lot more gloss black running down the sides. It's in the lower side skirt. It's also on the M4 Comp badge, and then it's on the power folding side mirrors, which do have a camera and a turn signal, and then it's on what would be the window trim with the top up. So you'll notice all of that trim that even wraps around the back section there. Now with the convertible, you can operate this top without starting up the vehicle. So if I just double tap and hold on the lock button, this is how you can start the process to put the top up. And then of course, if you do the same process with the unlock button, that is how you can put the top down from outside. So we can see this process for the soft top. And with the top up, you could actually keep all of the 4 windows down if you wanted that cross breeze, or of course put them up and get a little bit more AC there. So it looks really good with the soft top. Obviously, if you're buying this, you want to drive it around with the top down, but it's a pretty easy process to do. Now in back, you'll notice that the backup camera is within the BMW badge. There's LEDs for all the lighting, there's all the sensors in the lower section, and then more gloss black surrounding the quad tip dual exhaust tips. Now this also has remote start, so you can use the key fob for that, but we will get some exhaust clips here in just a little bit. Now you can also use the key fob or that button underneath to open up the trunk, where you have a decent amount of space for this convertible. Now with this section here, this has to be in this vertical position for the top to go down. When the top is up, you can actually fold this up and get a lot more interior space, which is nice. You can also fold down the back seat so you can put in some larger items if needed. There's no storage or anything underneath the floor, but again, a decent amount of storage for a convertible. And then as we work our way to the interior, this has a really nice design. You'll notice all of the white for the leather along with black. There's brushed aluminum accents, Harman Kardon for the audio. You can actually put all the windows up and down with the push of one button or do them individually. You have all of your window controls and then a trunk release there as well. And then a really nice design for more of the standard seat for the M4, but it's a great, comfortable, sporty seat. There's one manual adjustment for the leg support and then another manual adjustment to fold that backrest. From there, it is automatic, so it will move forwards, allowing you space to get into the back. Now, you're not really buying an M4 for a full 4-seater. As you can tell, you'd have to move that side forwards. You do get air vents though, along with cup holders in the middle, and then a little bit of storage and an armrest. Now, with the top up at 5'10", I'm just barely touching it, so I could ride from point A to point B. I have a pretty comfortable spot to be. You could also use this for putting in car seats or additional storage, of course. And then right in the middle, you can fold this section down where there is a wind deflector installed here at the moment. But again, you could also fold down that back seat and remove that as needed and use it. And then if you needed more space, you have that larger cut through there. Now, as we hop up front, we are greeted with a solid leather steering wheel with that flat bottom design, massive carbon fiber paddle shifters along with more of the carbon fiber accents, and then M1 and M2. But let's start this up and take a listen to how the M4 sounds. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, on the left side there's miles per hour and fuel. On the right side there's the tach and engine temperature. Now you can also go through some more information using this button right in the middle. There's volume tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands, and then this allows you to scroll through some content. So you can look at all of this information, some daily driving information, as well as some performance information, just depending on what you would like to see while you are behind the wheel, of course. And then you also have the head-up display, where you can go through a few different settings just to monitor that info as well. And then on the left side, there's all of the cruise control settings. Now you do get some storage on the lower left. There's all the headlight adjustments, one air vent, and then with the infotainment system, you have everything fixed in the lower section to quickly get through this. And you also have shortcuts located down below. So you can push on all of these and use this rotary dial to further go through this info. Now this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, there's even a drive recorder, and then you can go through some more of the daily driving information just to set this up the way that you would like. Now there's also a shortcut to get into all of the climates, along with the navigation and music. And then this model has heated and ventilated seats, along with a heated steering wheel and the temperature adjustments for your climate controls. There's more carbon fiber underneath that. There's ambient lighting, along with the air vents, and then volume tuning and defrosters. And then wireless charging, you have cup holders and auxiliaries, and more carbon fiber for this lid here. And then behind all of the shortcuts, you actually have heated headrests. You have the control for the top operation, so you can just push it down to lower it, pull it up, and the top will come back up, of course. There's also e-brake with auto hold. There's the exhaust note button. And then if I go into setup, this is how you can get into M1 and M2. So you can configure these buttons on the steering wheel here and have them set up between efficiency and Sport Plus, just depending on how you want those driving modes to be for the day. Now in front of that control, there's M mode. And you can go into Sport, where it's going to change both the gauge cluster and the head-up display and give you some more performance-oriented information. So if you are doing some performance driving, it is very helpful to see. Now there's also traction control, a shortcut to the forward-facing camera, so you can pull that up in full screen. There's parking sensors, engine start-stop, along with the engine start-stop button. And then with the shifter, this is how you put the vehicle into reverse, where you get the backup camera, automatic parking, backup assistance, and then the rest of the 3D angles here. So you can go through quite a lot with this model and see around the entire vehicle. So you have no shortage of visibility issues. And then you have drive, sport mode, so you can shift here or with the paddles. And then there's park and the ability to adjust the transmission. So that is nice to see. There's also an auxiliary in the armrest. You have a locking glove box as well. And then up top, there's garage door buttons and dome lights just behind that. And then with the top up, this is your visibility. A little bit of a pillar there, but it's very easy to see, especially with your side view mirrors. And then since you don't really have a pillar right here, you can easily see around that on the left side. As we set up behind the wheel now for the M4 Competition Convertible, this is always a fun vehicle to check out and drive. With the M4 in general, you also have a lot more options depending on what you are looking for. You can get the coupe version, of course. You can also go with the manual transmission. Now that will be rear wheel drive. So if you were looking for an automatic, you can get that in rear wheel drive or all wheel drive as well. So plenty of options, huge price range, just depending on how you plan to drive your car and what is going to suit you best. So in the convertible here, almost fully loaded, we have a lot of nice options for this particular model, including the Isle of Man green, which you don't see too often, or at least I don't see often on a lot of BMW models. It's a really nice color. But in general, we've been able to drive the M4s quite a lot. We were able to take one to the mountains and really see the performance that these vehicles have to offer. Plenty of power, plenty of tuning potential and modification potential as well, if that is something that you were looking to do. But of course, in the factory form, like we are driving today, this is definitely going to give you a lot of fun power and usable power for the roads. So let's put it into the M settings. We're in Sport Plus. We will put it into second gear, and the exhaust is in the open position. Minor acceleration, we are already up to speed. What I really like about all the M cars is the fact that you can adjust the transmission here, and it works with both the paddle shifters and just putting the vehicle into the normal driving settings. So with it in the highest setting, it will rev the vehicle out a little bit more, and you have some very crisp shifts. Or you can slow the shifts down. So if you're in stop and go traffic, it's going to make the vehicle drive much smoother. Not that it's harsh in the highest setting, but you get a lot more crisp shifts. You get a lot more performance oriented shifting and higher RPM when you are in that. So not ideal for daily driving, which is why they give you the option to do that, which I think is really cool. You get a lot of different performance characteristics with this one vehicle. And then we'll give it another acceleration just in drive here, and we can get back up to speed. Now, in terms of just driving this as a daily, seats are very comfortable. You can also opt for the carbon fiber bucket seats if you would like, which I have been able to review those in several of the BMW models. I think it's a really nice seat option to go with. This, of course, is going to be a little bit more comfortable for daily driving and just ease of entry and exit, but super comfortable. As a driver too, at 5'10", I have 4 inches or so of headroom, and this is also a height adjustable seat. So you can be well over 6 feet tall and still fit in this vehicle very comfortably. You have really nice positions on both sides here, great grip on the steering wheel too, which is manual adjusting, but you have the options to get that dialed in. And it's just a phenomenal vehicle. It handles well. Even for the convertible here, you could take this on some back roads and twisty roads and still have that performance, which is awesome to see. So let's go ahead and put the top down. You can do this while moving, which is very convenient. So if you're in the neighborhood, parking lot, whatever it may be, you don't have to come to a complete stop. So very easy and quick to do. Now, I think something that would be neat to see, we do have the heated headrests. It would be cool if they were ventilated too, because on a hot day like today, I have the ventilated seat all the way up. Would be nice to have the ventilated portion on the back of your neck there. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel of the M4, and with one button there, I can put all 4 windows up, which is of course very nice. And you can eliminate that cross breeze just depending on how you feel for the day. It's also going to help a little bit more with audio purposes, which is nice. But definitely a great vehicle, and let's put it back into the sport settings here, so maybe we can hear that exhaust a little bit more with the top down. We'll put it into M mode now. There we go. Where you can hear that exhaust a lot more. So you can have some sporty driving fun and get a little bit more of that exhaust feel and that open breeze. There we go. Definitely sounds super good. And then if we go under 30 miles an hour, we can put the top back up. So again, super convenient to do. And it doesn't really take all that much time either. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 BMW M4 Competition Convertible. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.